Hey, it's your boy, Mr. Mac. I'm here to give you the real nitty-gritty about living in Florida. The poor man edition. I ain't talking about the guy that lives in New York or the guy that comes from California that has money, millions of dollars. I ain't talking about that guy. I'm talking about the guy that comes here that, has to go get a job working on a dump truck or working in a factory or a restaurant or something like that. I'm talking about that's for this video is for those people like myself, because I came to Florida, in September of 2021. And, I came working from another factory, and I found just how hard it is to find work here when you don't have work. I get it, people say that try to come here with a job. I see what they mean by that now, because I came to Florida without a job, and I found out that it's, when you have very low work skills and you're not qualified to do, computing or something like that, or even driving a forklift, if you don't have those experience, finding a job here is very can be very challenging. Can be very challenging because I went to several different temp agencies trying to find work here, and it was like, wow. And in other states, they do things different. For example, like if you come from Tennessee like I did, you would notice that in Tennessee, you can go work for a guy, you can work for Manpower or somebody, and they'll put you to work the next day. They say, hey, when you want to go work? Boom. Well, here in Florida, it's a little bit different. Here in Florida, if you go apply for a job, they want to make sure that you're a good fit for the company and the company thinks you're a good fit for them. So, so in other words, you will go to the temp agency, you will apply for the temp agency, and then they'll see what jobs they got that fits your qualification, and then they will contact the player, will send your application to the employee, the employer, and he would see if you're a good fit, and then you will say, okay, I go check this job out. Instead of, like most typically, they say, hey, go work starting tomorrow. No, they say, well, you go there, you have to check out, they give you a tour of the factory, you talk to the employer, and you both have to agree if this is a perfect fit for both of y'all. So you don't waste your time and they don't waste your time. Well, in the process, while you waiting on this process to happen, you waiting 2 to 3 weeks before this interview process, before you even get to the job. See what I'm saying? You're waiting before you even get to the job. So now, you're thinking, man, how am I gonna pay my rent? How am I gonna pay my bills? So you might have came with a little bit of savings. You might have said, now you don't want to live with all your savings, but you may have to do that in some cases. So I get why people say come down here with a job. Okay. So number two, the wages. I was in Tennessee. I was making $17.50 an hour in my last job. Which is low in some states, but that's high in other states. We're here in Florida, the great state of Florida, the sunshine state, because you're paying premium for that sunshine. I found that out because the pay down here is ridiculously low. I mean, ridiculously low. You're gonna lucky to come down here and find jobs, man, as low as $9. I'm talking, and that's at the airport. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll find some jobs that may get up to high as $13, $15. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about just people for jobs, people who look for jobs who don't have some kind of labor skills. You know what I'm saying? Like welding or something like that, because that's big here in Florida. Now, if you got those kind of skills, yes, you could probably make anywhere between 22 and up. But people on the low end who don't have those skills will have to settle for anywhere between $9 and $13. Well, that's the other problem you have. Now, number three, cost of living. Now, the cost of living here is ridiculously high. I knew It was high, but I didn't know it was ridiculously high. Example, Tennessee, I was paying for a 3-bedroom house, you know what I'm saying, $750 a month. Okay. I'm paying a 2-bedroom apartment in Florida here, in the Brandon area of Florida, for $2,153 a month. Ridiculously high. Ridiculously high. It gets better. So here in Florida, they want you to make 3 times your income. 3 times the income. So that means that if you are sitting here saying, if you bring home, let's say, no, you gotta bring 3 times the rent. So that means if you bring $2,000, they want you to bring in what? $2,000, $4,000, $6,000 in a month? Who does that? And see, here in the greater Tampa area and Lakeland area, the cost of living is astronomically higher than anywhere else in the country right now. I mean, it is very, I'm not trying to discourage anybody to move here because it's beautiful here. I'm just giving you a heads up and giving you the real nitty gritty on what you're going to be expecting when you move here. Because, I mean, you're going to be like, wow, I didn't know it was that way. And I mean, yes. And I mean, you already, if you visit here already, you already know that everything is higher than where you were in your previous state, unless you're from California or New York or somewhere that you might feel like, hey man, it's cheaper to live in Florida. In your case, it probably is. But the rest of us, no. I'm just telling you, it's not what you might think it is here. Don't get me wrong, the palm trees, the water, the beautiful, beautiful. If you love that thing, beautiful. Unless you live on the coast, I can't afford to live on the coast. By the water, I wouldn't want to because of, you know, hurricane stuff, but I do like living near the water. If I want to go to the beach, before previous in Tennessee, I had to drive 8 hours off fly just to get to the Florida line, just to go to the beach. Here, I don't have to do that. I could just go to get in the car. I live in the Brandon area. I drive by the hour because I don't drive on the main highways because, you know, it's just like if you've seen on these other previous YouTube videos about what it's like living in Florida. Yes, the roads are terrible, especially I-75, 75, I-4. You can try to avoid them at most cars. I'd rather take an hour drive or longer and take the back roads and then get on any of those major roads. It's supposed to be the only road that may be better for your salmon, but hey, that's a pay road. So it's never crowded on that road. But if you get in, if you work here in Tampa, or oh my God, I feel for you because you're gonna be looking at, depending on where you live at, an hour commute going home every day. Even where I work at, I see guys that be like, man, they have an hour ride home every day. I'm like, wow. So, yes. And everything here, like I said, the restaurants are very expensive, man. The restaurants are very expensive. I mean, I've been here since September. I've only been to one restaurant. I'm talking about restaurant. I ain't talking about, I'm talking about dine in, sit down, eat restaurant. You know what I'm saying? You paying the premium Florida price by sitting by the water. So if you want to go by the water, you expect to pay $100 plus up in meals. That's just, I don't care if it's just you and your wife, or you and your girlfriend, or you, unless it's just you, yeah, expect to pay $100 and up automatically. I'm just telling you, price of gas here, yeah, it's probably higher than when you used to. and you're gonna be like, wow. Because I mean, I remember in Tennessee, it would take me fill my car up. It was about $27. To fill my car here up in Florida, it is $42.95. I'm like, to fill my car up every time. I'm like, wow. Wow. And so I try to do a lot of things here freely, cheaply, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I've learned since I've been here in Florida, the sticker shock, got over the sticker shock of praise. I mean, because simple things like you were used to in your city, in your state, unless you come from them states that, you know, it's like Florida, you know, most states I've been to, you know what I'm saying, you could go to the fair. It's free. It's free. You may have to pay for them ridiculous prices to get on the rides and ridiculous prices to eat, but here you gotta pay to get in the fair and then spend the ridiculous amount of money on the rides and the food. Nothing here is free. I mean, parking. If you wanna go downtown Tampa and hang out, expect to spend $10 on parking everywhere you go. Expect that. Don't even think about it. And I mean, don't think about, oh, and you might get lucky and get on the side of the road, but yeah, like I said, there's pay booth everywhere, so you got to pay. You got to pay. Nothing here is free in Florida, baby. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Do I regret moving here? No, I don't regret moving here. I just regret not saving enough money to live here. Because I saved up some money before I came, but I apparently did not think and did not know everything that I was going to be getting my hands into here. I mean, because, you know, like I said, this is just my version of what it live like living in Florida. I ain't going to go into the bugs and all the weather and stuff like that, because, I mean, you see enough videos on YouTube about that, talking about, oh, the top 10 things and you hate about Florida bugs. But that's pretty much anywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere you go, people are going to complain about the mosquitoes and the bugs and stuff. So, I mean, unless you, even in Alaska. So, I mean, so that's a comment. Now, if you want to know, have I seen an alligator? Only time I've seen an alligator is on a plate so far. I mean, that's it. I only seen them on the plates. I have not seen them roaming across the streets, and never advised the alligators are here and there. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not even gonna say they're not here. I'm just not in the area that I see alligators. I'll put it like that, because I do not see alligators. Have I been bitten by massive mosquitoes in the month of December? No, I have not. See, I'm getting into what I said I wasn't gonna get into, but I'm just telling you, man. So just suspect when you come to Florida that, especially to move here, you know what I'm saying, have yourself a little nest egg to save money come on, because it's expensive here. Because you're gonna find out, just even trying to build a place, some people can get a place like this. You be like, damn, how do you get? But for us poor people who struggle, you know what I'm saying, if your credit's not on point, bro, I'm telling you, get your credit together, because you gonna struggle. Because I had to pay off some credit bills that I didn't want to pay off. But hey, it is what it is. Because I mean, because if you don't, that stuff is gonna either make your rent go up higher, or it's gonna make you get denied down here. And believe me, if you already, I mean, even living in the okay areas or close to the hood, is you're looking at over $1,000. Now in the hood, yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you wanna live in a nice area, man, and not have to deal with all that, you know what I'm saying? Yes, get your credit together, man. Because get your credit score up. I ain't saying you gotta clean it all the way up. I'm just saying get it up that it's over 600, because that matters here. That matters here. That will determine if you have to put nothing down on a place, or you do. That determines if you got to pay more on the rent or less. I mean, it's really that serious out here. And like I said, you got to prove to them that you make over 3 times your pay, man. 3 times your pay because they serious about to get their money down here. They want their money. They want their money. Just gonna tell you that. And I'm just gonna emphasize one more time. They want their money. And they don't want to hear that you can't pay, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I live in a very nice area, man, here in Brandon, and I see people come and go every day. I mean, they get like these contracts trying to find somewhere else cheaper to live because, I mean, unless you want to live outwards of Tampa, or you one of the, suburbs, or even an hour away or more, yeah, you might find a cheaper, you might can find cheaper place. But then, like I said, if you want to, but that also means that, you're farther away from the city life. If you want to be in the city life, you're gonna have to pay. I mean, you really have to pay. That's just, how it is here. And like I said, let me touch the food here. Like I did touch on the ridiculous amount of food, for the cost of food. But for you people who come from states that, Tennessee, Alabama, southern states, even some northern states that likes their food seasoning, ooh, you might wanna, think about that, or come just to visit first, because that's the one thing that I noticed the first time I got here. I was thinking that, oh man, I'm gonna get me some fresh seafood out the sea. It's gonna be great. And man, I've been into some fish I never had before. It was grouper, and I was like, they said, how you want it black? I said, I tried black. I ain't never had it. What it tastes like? I thought that was the nastiest thing I ever ate in my life. And I was mad because I learned that they don't season their food like most places do and other states do, restaurants do. You be thinking to yourself, man. And I got to ask some of the people that I met here that live here, and I said, what's up with the food, man? Why it's so bland? It's not that it's so bland, it's that you're from a state that they use so much seasoning. and you in your taste buds, you thinking there ain't no salt, pepper, nothing on this fish. It's like they just threw it on the skillet, boom, here you go. And you're like, now that I've been here a couple months, my taste buds are adjusting to it a little bit better, because my son came here for Thanksgiving and he was like, Dad, what's wrong with the food? I forgot to tell him. He said, man, this ain't got no seasoning. I said, son, I forgot to tell you, I'm sorry. And he was like, man, you could have, he said, that was the most important thing you could have told. I said, I'm sorry. I forgot. Because the season down here, they don't very, and one of the reasons why I believe they do that is because of the senior citizen community they have here for people that, that have high blood pressure and stuff like that. So they're not heavy-handed on the season at all here when it comes to food. And that may be perfect for some people. Some people might love it. Then there's gonna be some people that's gonna be like, man, oh no, bro, I can't do that, man. I can't do that. I know. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. Your taste buds will adjust to it, just like you adjust to the high price of living here. You adjust to everything. Everywhere you go, you're gonna have to spend $100 more, especially if you're going to a restaurant, and especially if you got a family. Yes, you're gonna spend more, or likely $150 everywhere you go. So I mean, just be prepared. I mean, you might want to cook at home then, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just keeping it real. I mean, I've been to some good restaurants here, and I've been to some okay restaurants. But I'm just telling you, if you about saving that money, and you know what I'm saying, and you might want to get out once a month, twice a month, like, I mean, there is a lot of activities here in Florida, man. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love it here, because Tennessee, we have certain events come up, and then you waiting for a long period of time for another event to come up. Here, man, there's something going on every weekend. Every weekend there's something going on. So you're gonna be like, wow, man, this is crazy. I mean, every time we turn around, you be like, man, I'm looking for my remote because my TV's up too loud. And I ain't trying to get no copyrights, right? But damn, there it is. Hold on, y'all. So, back. So, yeah, that's another thing. You want to, I mean, because you can go down to St. Petersburg. You can go down to, Clearwaters. Then they got all kind of festivals here, man. Like last night we was driving through and we saw some kind of festival, man. Some kind of concerts. There's always concerts going on here. Like I said, there was not so long ago, seafood festival. They always have something going on here. So if you about and Tampa is a lively city. People don't, you know what I'm saying? That's what I love about the city. It's even at nighttime, it's an active city. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be so active during the coronavirus. But they ain't stopping people here. I'm telling you that now. So if you a scary type person, you think, oh no, they're not going nowhere. I mean, you in the wrong city, man, because everybody here, they out. They're out, bro. They're out. They're out, ma'am. They are out. They everywhere. You look up everywhere. They are out. I mean, you could. Yeah, I've only time I've ever been on the highway here, and there was not nobody on the highway. It was probably about 4 o'clock in the morning. Other than that, the roads here are always busy. People are going and coming. People are going. As my mother-in-law would say, people got things to do and places to go. And they're always moving here. So it's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. It's an active city. It's an active lifestyle. So if you just want to come here and just sit around, you might want to stay where you at then. Because there's always something going on here in the great city of Tampa, man, in the St. Petersburg area. Always something. That's why I love it here. Because, and I mean, if you're into sports, you know, you got the sports right there, the football. You know, you got the Bucks, you got the Rays, you got the Lightning, the Tampa Lightning, the golf. I mean, the hockey team. You got just right up the road, our way. You got Walt Disney World. You got the Orlando Magics. I mean, so if you into sports, you got it. They here. So I mean, it's beautiful. I love it here. I do. I mean, I can't say that I don't love it. I just don't like some of the things that they do here. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like about Tampa, but you know, hey, it is what this. That's anywhere you live. It's gonna always be the good and the bad. So I mean, hey. But anyway, I don't ramble long enough. So this is your boy, man. So do I regret? So regret living here in Florida? Nah, I don't regret it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know, it will take you a minute to get on your feet, especially if you are looking for a job here. So if you can come here with a job, that'd be my best bet to tell you, because I mean, it took me personally, and I was working before I came here. It took me 3 weeks to find a job here. And I was kind of blown away by that, because I was like, I've always been able to walk in the place, hey, boom, boom, give me and here you go. Because I've got a lot of experience, a lot of different qualifications. I was like blown away that I could not get a job within 3 weeks. Because I just was so confident that I was going to be able to get a job. And it was like, wow. So, just to give you a heads up. All right, thank you for checking out the video. This is your boy, Mr. Mac. Hey, come back again. Thank you. Peace. We out.